So let's go back down here and we'll do a little bit more backing up. Now, there is a very good speech here, a very good talk on SEO. I would like to play some of this. I normally don't like to just play other people's material, but this one, the guy really gets to the point of what I've been trying to cover as well. So it sort of backs up my argument.
Kind of narrow in a little bit more, but the traditional search was a two-sided marketplace. You had the consumer would go to that list of blue links and they would discover what they want, they would interpret the information, and they would consume the information that they found contained there within. But we're now at this inflection point where humans no longer need to visit websites. And that's kind of the crux of the whole thing, right? Instead of browsing an index of blue links, we send an agent on our behalf. And more than just browsing that content, the agent will actually interpret and prepare the content and then feed it up to the end user on a silver platter and say, hey, here's the answer. And sure, you know, there's a PDF thing that's meant to be the user chewing. The agent will tell the user where the content came from. It will provide sources and citations, but frankly, who cares where that content came from if it tastes good? I think our point is, I'm not clicking those sources and citations. I don't think people will long term. That's just vibe based. Yeah. Search was this two-sided marketplace where consumers visited brands directly. Answer engines steal the end user from the brand.
Okay, I'll pause it there for a minute. This again, I discussed in a couple of episodes back, that what Google have basically done is they want your information. They still want to be a provider of quality information, as do all search engines. That's their result. You ask them a question, you want the answer. But the big shift now is, as I've said, websites, information, it's not about the humans looking at it anymore. So right now there's a balancing act. And this is why I've introduced the concept of actually using one of my AI assistants front and center on your existing website. That is step number one. You need to have a conversational AI assistant for all the things I've touched on, answering simple questions, showing images about your product, answering sensitive pricing discussions with the end user so they don't just click and go, oh, it's too expensive and go somewhere else, or there's no pricing at all and they go somewhere else. You've got a chance of getting your AI assistant to explain, oh, the reason we charge for this is because it's gold plated or whatever, right? So number one, regardless of search engine optimization, regardless of anything else, it is a valuable AI assistant, should be on everyone's website, because as I said before, at the moment, there's pushback. There's pushback from people not wanting to ask questions, not wanting to use it. That's fine. But what's going to happen very, very quickly is all the major players, as I said, are introducing voice. This is the way that you'll interact. It's an agentic web we're going into. So we'll go back to this. He touches on a bit more now.
And I think that's the big point I'm trying to lead with here. And eventually, our take is that we will enter a zero-click future, and the consumer will only interact with the answer engine. And it's so hard to stay up to speed because obviously since I sent Mike my slides, there's now been the ChatGPT integration with Shopify, and that's becoming clearer and clearer as we go. Every week this becomes clearer, this thesis. And agents will be the only visitors of websites, or the primary visitors of websites is what we're saying.
Absolutely.
And I think Karpathy, who's one of the godfathers of OpenAI and from Tesla, you know, he's got this fantastic line, which you probably all saw doing the rounds on Twitter or LinkedIn, where he says, 99.9% of attention is about to be LLM attention. And for what it's worth, I think we're using LLM attention liberally here. We say answer engines instead of LLMs because I think when you're talking about just the pre-trained LLM, I think that's very different to the actual end product of ChatGPT, which now has system prompts, memory, personalization, a ton of retrieval. Through Profound, our platform, we're seeing like sometimes 70, 80, 90% of commercial search will return via what is being referred to as grounding, or what we would say is web retrieval. So
again, agents. You need to create your message needs to be ready for agents. Conversation is what agents are trained on. Conversation is what agents are looking for. People talking about your product. That will get attention of the LLMs, which means it will come back as part of the Google response, okay? That doesn't mean that people are going to click on the referral link, but you'll certainly be referred. So, for example, if you take some of the golf courses that I've done, if someone asks a question about a particular golf course, that will come up in a Google search as a normal search page because it's there, but it will also be mentioned in the AI summary of what's going on there with references to where that was from.